it's getting double in importance, of course.
Annual salary.
If available.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about strategies and some tools, and then I have a question for you. You guys touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to go a little bit deeper. So these apps are all going after a limited amount of wallet share, so competitive information is going to be really key. And the advertisers almost are having the same problem, like it's an inverse flex on both ends, right? So many users, so many advertisers. How do you do? When these folks should be thinking about the competitive intelligence you should provide, what should they be thinking about?
I think it's very valuable. For example, if you start working on your app or your new game, and if you really look at the opportunity there in the market, so either by country, for example, look at what countries are doing well with what business models these games are using, but also we look at the type of game that you're developing or app that you're developing, what is the potential, what kind of app am I developing, and what revenues, for example, have similar apps that are generating on a global scale. So I think it's really about opportunity. I think that's really important for everybody to do.
Got it. This kind of reminds me of about 10 years ago when we had banner ads and no one knew what they had to do with them and everyone was playing around with them. Or even like 15 years ago when there was a company called Pointcast. Does anybody remember that? A couple of people as old as I am. And unfortunately they didn't make it, but they probably would have one of the best advertising opportunities because it constantly scrolled on your screen with valuable information, except the pipes weren't big enough and nothing else mattered. So how about any other questions from the crowd? Because those are maybe some of the juiciest ones we've heard yet. Oh, there we go.
Hi, my name is Lucas, and I have a question.
Who are you with? Sorry, who are you with?
Lucas.
You're with Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas Brown, yeah. So I have a question regarding monetization of your advertising, because that's just as you said, a typical banner starts in terms of promoting on the mobile because of the small space. So I'd like to get some knowledge about, based on your experience, did you observe any more efficient way to, like promoting games because it's so specifically in a visual intensive way, interactive way? For example, like we do this playable HTML5 game preview for games. Based on your opinion, what do you think about this type of a game that be helpful for this gaming, multiple promotion games?
Okay. Who wants to take a stab at that one? First wait.
Unfortunately, I don't have a solid answer there, so
It's too early to tell.
yeah.
And so let me make sure I understand the question. The question is, are there other ad formats that might be better performing than banner ads? And two, what would you recommend for a game specifically? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. So we actually like the idea of using a full interstitial ad as opposed to a banner ad, mostly because the user sometimes accidentally clicks on the banner ad. Sometimes they're too small. You can't, really show much in the ad itself. And trying to use something that small is probably going to give you more error than it is an active user. So we actually promote a full interstitial ad. That we think is a much better user experience. It has a higher retention and activation rate. So that's a place to start. And with respect to a game, where in the game I think you're asking you would put this ad, or since it's a full interstitial, it really is the call to action in your application that's best for you. So if it's between levels, that might be a good stopping point. If there's a specific button in the app, that's a great place to show that ad. Those are places where you're not interrupting the user experience from the game, and you're also giving them a break to see this ad and really immerse themselves in it and actually develop it. So that would be my recommendation.
And I may add one more to that. So we've been seeing some really strong engagement rates coming from video recently. So that's certainly something to look at.
So what type of video? Like, so I'm playing a game and all of a sudden a video pops up and...
So it depends. It depends on the network. So you can speak specifically around Ad Colony. I don't know if anyone's worked with Ad Colony out there in the gamers, but certainly one of our strongest performing traffic partners on the game side today. We've worked with clients like Flurry that also have video components. Tapjoy also has some video components to it as well. So there's a couple of options out there.
Has anyone in the crowd thought about using video at all yet? One. Wow.
I don't understand how that works. How does the video pop up? What are they doing?
So it depends on the app itself, but certainly with some, depending on the level of the game that you're in. And a lot of these are on the incentivized side, where users are incentivized to download an app after they've watched a 15-second video, for example. So the video will pop up within the app itself, within your phone itself.
Interesting. Might be a little weird. I know my daughter, when she's playing games, Like an ad pops up, and she just screams. So I
If conditioned are that way.
yeah, for a variety of things. We got one more question over here, please. A couple over here.
I was going to say, a good place for video is when you finish a scenario, you complete something, an action in the game, and then the user gets the video. You can also incentivize them by giving them some extra points if they watch the video.
Can you tell us about the data science or the heuristics behind the functionality tied into workflow and then to the monetization?
That's a great question. So let me just could you maybe repeat one more time? It sounded like you want to know what's the workflow for you to actually know when to do monetization, or what's the
What's the monetization? Where do you know where the collective points in the markets, where you're detecting and determining where you can monetize the best solutions?
I got it. What are the triggers that makes you want to go ahead and send an ad to monetize that?
And where's the data science and heuristics behind that?
Got it. So that word's come back from the 80s, data scientist. Does anyone want to take us with that one? My presumption is going to be about the stickiness of the app. I know I don't play games, but she plays a lot of games, and when I see her do certain things, based upon how long she stays in that app, because she gets different things served on the free ones, even if she ends up doing a paid app, then the way that they end up getting her to do it is add a pause or a level or sort of like that next phase.
Yeah, I guess are you also trying to understand when it makes sense from a revenue perspective to add? Okay, so I would say, I mean, depending on how much money you want to make, the equation, I would use a math equation. So according to Mary Meeker, the average CPM in mobile right now, which is the cost per 1,000, is 75 cents. If you think about the, the average fill rates in mobile right now are less than 50%.
Are there any particular algorithms that you consider or any models that you think that work in the company?
I can't say anything.
So I don't know if it's a fancy algorithm, but there's usually the standard funnel is what I think you're probably asking about, right? So if you're looking at, no, that's not what you're looking at.
Sounds like a business opportunity.
I don't understand the question, so I'm just going to let it go. That's hard. But I can talk about the funnel.
My name is Remco, and I work on a company called Silk.io. I'm kind of focused on the head of it, but I also want to see how you guys make money. So I'm creating a platform. My company is for helping developers to build applications better. I was running it as a platform. How did you guys monetize your platform? So I can maybe go into that.
So we work off of an agency model, so we charge a fee for our services. And again, the way that we view this is we're completely agnostic to the traffic source itself. We're spending money through multiple traffic sources and charging a fee based on the spend.
And what we do, we have a free platform, so you can track all of your apps for free across all the app stores. If you'd like to track your competitors, we use algorithms, data science, to really calculate or estimate revenues for any app globally, and then we provide it as a base course.
And at OpenX, we operate, we have a software ad server, so that's a software licensing fee, and we also, in our exchange, that's a revenue share model with our publishers. We don't charge advertisers.
In our business model, we charge advertisers on a pay per click or pay per install, and we keep a percentage of that revenue share.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but did you I'm in a private beta stage right now. We're trying to figure out how we're going to charge. Did you guys know what that strategy was? Did you start, free or giving out to people, and you kind of figure out along the way what you charge?
For us, we needed a lot of developers to have enough data to really make those algorithms, so we started off free for the first few years. We sold some custom reports, but mainly we focused on building the developer base. So right now we have about $1 million per month, so we have sufficient data to really do that.
So I can say this, that we felt pretty strongly about our value proposition from day one. So we did charge a fee from day one. I think the fee has moved up as we've grown as a company and added more value.
We experimented with the pure rev share and then also CPI. So, and we also gave away free in the very beginning. So you'll figure out what's best for you to get the best presentation.
I a big believer in the freemium model, so your whole goal right now is acquire customers because you have not enough data points. You're just like, oh, these 10 people do these things. And I think, as Christian said, if you know your product roadmap well enough, what you end up doing is what are people going to want and the way we're going to pay for. And what I've seen really work is the analytics, more feature-rich sets, and then probably different capabilities. How many people care about mobile app distribution and spreading it virally even without having some of these networks? You'll see a bunch of people here in Twilio, red shirts. Please make sure you stop one of them, ask them. We have a ton of customers that use us for mobile app distribution, really to help you grow your base. So on that note, I'm going to ask to go back to any of the other folks in the audience have some questions, because it's me and the bar stand that is holding you guys up. Here's a question over here on the right then. Oh, 1 second. Go to the back. Yes, sir. Your name and who you're with?
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Could you comment on whether you would recommend for publishers to use a mediator, or should they affiliate just with one ad network? Do the mediators add any value?
Happy to start. As a potential mediator, I would like to think that we have. Quick story. So genesis of Fiksu, we solved a different problem initially than the one we're solving today. So we actually worked on your side of the ecosystem. We were an app developing company. This was 4 years ago. And the first challenge that we faced was acquiring installs outside of the organic installs that we were facing. So we reached out to the 3 largest networks at the time, which were AdMob pre-Google acquisition, Millennial pre-IPO, and IAP. And unfortunately what we found out was that the scale wasn't there even within the 3 largest networks. So we're constantly looking for new traffic sources. I can tell you we have a couple of our